Sam, and this is by Hook by Needles. You have got, no idea how hot and sticky it is here today. It is horrible. I'm waiting for a storm to roll in from the west. Yes, from the west. Some friends or people I know in the west have already got it. Say it's really, the temperature like drops by about 8 to 10 degrees. So I'm hoping that comes soon. Now, last minute Christmas gift, number 2. I'm attempting to make a hairpin scarf, whatever. Now, the hairpin, I have shown you how to use the hairpin tool before, but I'm going to show you again how we make this length. I'm actually using a mill end for a Red Heart all-in-one granny, and you can tell why it's a mill end. The colors have just bled. I'm not sure what this color is supposed to be, whether it's supposed to be off-white or pink or what, but it's got black and all sorts in it. But that's the roulette wheel you spin when you buy mill end yarn from our Spotlight. Now, I have 2 rolled up lace pieces, and each piece goes through 2 color sequences. So I start with whatever the color this is supposed to be, and I go all the way through to the black, and then we come back to the starting color, and I go all the way through to the black again. So that's 2 repeats of the colors, which would be 2 granny squares, and that would be for each lace piece. I'm just going to roll this back up because that's just the best way to store them so that they don't get into a tangled mess, because you don't want this twisted when you're putting it together, because it's just not going to look right. So I'm just going to roll this back up. So technically this is 2 granny squares worth, and this is 2 granny squares worth. It ended up being 190 stitches, and when I say stitches, I mean loops. Let me show you. Okay, so each one of these, that is one stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what I've done is I've grouped them in 10, and I'm alternated because I am running low on stitch markers. So I've got 10 that are loose, and then I put 10 together, 10 that are loose, 10 together, and on the opposite side I just do the opposite. So if that's loose on that side, I put those 10 together. That just enables me to ensure that there are the same number of these loops on both sides. That will be important for when we actually come to join them. I was initially going to just do 2 lengths of lace, but being a glutton for punishment and not even realizing how hot it was going to be today, I thought, no, I'll do 3. Then I'll show you how to join the 3, and then how to edge it. I mean, there's many ways you could edge it, entirely up to you, but that's what we're going to do. So these are 2 I've made before. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, the cooler weather's coming. It's knocking on my door. The cats won't like this one single bit. Okay, sorry, I get very excited about storms. Because I love it when I love a rainy night. That song was really, really good. Who sang it? I love a rainy night. I can't remember. Anyway, YouTube can't punish me because I'm not monetized. So I can sing if I want to. All right, we are going to, I was going to say log on. No, we're going to start our magic loop. And what we need to do is literally do a slip knot, but it's not going to be your ordinary sort of slip knot. It's going to have a big ring here. So here's our slip knot down here. But now we've got this big ring. And what we do with the big ring is we put it between, on either side of this poles, pins, whatever you want to call them. Now, there is a third, oh, I've lost it, haven't I? No, I haven't. There is a third pin. There goes one cat, heard a thunder coming in, that you can use to mark your center point. Now this will keep your center point more accurate. You can use it if you wish, or just use it at the beginning. It's really up to you. I tend not to use it, but it's only because, you know, the instructions don't talk about using it. But I did use it, I think, on my previous one. Now, I've got to remember how to do this. Hang on. Is it around the back? Yes, it is around the back. It starts around the back. Sorry, knot goes to the back. And what I do is I pick up, sorry, I need to really come down and out and around so you can see what I'm doing. This will hopefully be a little bit better. So we've got our slip knot. It's at the back. We're holding our yarn as though we were crocheting. This is our center point. We want to come up through the middle, grab the yarn, and we're just going to do a slip knot the first time. So you might want to just use your finger to hold that, and that is just, we're just doing a slip knot. This yarn is at the back. We take it around, we turn. At the same time, we're doing two things at once, because it's multitasking. You need to take your hook up like that to bring it down between the poles, so your hook's at the back now, and at the same time you turn your work. Now, to try and keep it even, I'm now gonna, you always do your, grab your yarn from the left hand side of the middle pin if you're using a middle pin. So I grab that, and now we make a single crochet. Okay, just making, oops, single crochet. It's a bit tricky to start off with, I will not lie. So I've done one slip stitch and one single crochet. My hook goes down and in between those two, so it's on the other side, ready to go. I turn, and then I always use, you're gonna have these loops on the left hand side. You always want to go into this loop that is at the top, and these can, if you're not careful, get confused. They can switch around, but they won't look correct. You will see that there is a noticeable difference when you're working with this. So I come up, I grab my yarn from behind, and again I make a single crochet. I put it to my hook to the back, I turn my work, and I'm going to slide this down the bottom, and now I'm going to remove the middle pin. I've got my center section okay. I know where I am. I'm going to move it just because I think it's easier to flip that hook over. I should say I'm using a 6mm hook. Doesn't really matter too much. I mean, you don't want it to be too tight, you don't want it to be too loose, but yeah. Now, again, we're going to pick up the top one, get the back yarn, and we're going to do a single crochet. Now this is a little bit tricky because I'm resting it on, let me see if I can find something. I'll just get a ball of yarn. Just want to put a ball of yarn there, so I've got something to rest it on. Normally you would rest it on your stomach or your chest or whatever, but that's better. That holds it into play. That sort of gives me a base. It makes it a little bit easier to maneuver. So I'm at the back, I twist, I'm resting, I'll show you. As you can see, I've got a ball of yarn there that I'm just resting this on. Just gives it a bit of stability, so it makes it a little bit easier to make those stitches. If you've got a really big belly like me, you don't need the yarn. That's just a tip. So yeah, okay. But so we bring the yarn around. We can tell that this is the one we have to go into because it goes all the way back to here. We know it's not this one below because it goes behind into the previous stitch. See? That stitch goes behind and into the previous stitch. So it's got to be this one because it's the long one. And it's the top and it's the front, so that's how we also know. This hairpin lace tool does show the centerpiece. If you're not using a pin. So again, we come up, we grab the yarn, we pull it through, and as you can see, it's easier because I'm resting on that ball of yarn, or your belly, or a pillow, or whatever makes it easier for you. And because that middle pin's gone, I can just flip that over a lot easier too. I usually flip that back before I turn. I just find that an easier combination to do than the other way around. So next one, as you can see, once again, now we've got 3 loops on this side and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on this side. You need to keep them even because you will be joining this loop to the first loop of another hairpin lace strand, what would you call them? Hairpin lace section, panel, whatever. So I'm going to come under there again, come under, grab that yarn. Oops. I'm sorry, I'm looking through the camera or the phone to see what I'm doing. I'm not actually looking at my hands, so it's just a little bit unusual. Okay, so we've just done another single crochet. So back we go and turn. You want to keep the tension tightish, but you don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose. You don't see, that's probably a little bit too loose. See how it sort of pulls out a little bit, but I'm not overly worried if so these ones aren't too loose because they're all, and you can tell by just sort of pulling on them, they shouldn't come out much further than, oopsie, I can't see there. That one's okay, that one's a little bit too loose, that one's okay, and that one's a little bit too loose, but it's not going to matter in the vast scheme of things. Now, one of the biggest mistakes you're going to make with doing this, ask me how I know, is you're going to put your yarn in the front, and what you're going to do is you're going to turn with your yarn in the front, and then that's going to cause all sorts of problems because you're missing a loop on here, and when you go to do your single crochet like that, it's going to look odd. See, now down here we've got a nice little sort of zigzag formation going, and all of a sudden we've got this sort of non-zigzag happened here. I know I've made a mistake just by looking at it. So what do? Well, I can just put my hook back into the last stitch, pull out my yarn and go, well, what have I done wrong? And then I realize that that is supposed to be around that needle or that pin. That is very easy to do. I've done it multiple times when I'm working, especially when you're sort of watching TV and you're working fast and you're really not thinking about what you're doing. I need a sip of my coffee before it goes too cold. Actually, do you know what I did? I was running low on coffee sachets, and I have a huge mug. I mean, I have a huge mug. So I always put, oh, I've got cat hair in my mug. So I always use 2 sachets of the, you know, the instant coffee stuff with the milk and everything and the flavoring, like the cappuccino or whatever in it. I usually use 2 of those sachets in this big mug. Well, I'm running low on coffee sachets, but I did find that I had some chai latte sachets. So, yep, I went there. I mixed a coffee sachet with a chai. Actually, it's an Earl Grey chai tea sachet. And I tell you what, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But, you know, when you're in, you know, desperate times, desperate measures. Okay, so that's how we recognize a mistake, and that's how we fix a mistake. I just need to go out a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. Top stitch, and see how we've got a nice little zigzag forming. Now you can keep going and going and going with this until the pin is almost full, which I tend to sort of do. And then what you do once your pins are almost full, mine aren't, but I'm going to show you anyway. I'm just going to do one more. Oh, listen to that storm rolling in. Why do I whisper when there's a storm coming? It's not like it can hear me. Okay, I'm going to show you how we get this off, because this will fill up fairly quickly. So I just take my hook out, I put a stitch marker in. These are the new pony, were they? Pony or boy? I can't remember, I think, but the new style of the ring one, whereas before, you know, that used to be very easy to sort of come undone and slip out. These are a little bit tighter. So far I'm quite liking them. Anyway, so I'm going to take off some loops. Always take off an same number on both sides. I'll get my top. Just get that yarn out of the way. I put my top on, slide that on. Now this is where you can also make a mistake. You can end up coming back to the wrong side when you return. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you're worried about coming back to the wrong side, there's nothing probably stopping you from marking, you know, with a pen or something. You know, put an X, and that will let you know that that's the front of the work and the way that the work should be facing you. That should be facing you when you resume again. Right, so we turn it upside down. We take off the end. As you can see, that's why we put this on, otherwise they'd be all loose and the pins would go everywhere. Then I slide up and I go 2 off that side, 2 off that side, 2 off that side, 2 off that side. I'll probably take one more off. 1 and 1. Okay, then we put the top back on. We turn it upside down again. We remove the top. We remove our stitch marker. Whoops. And we keep going. I know I've just done my single crochet, so now I just go to the back, and this will hang at the front. This will hang at the front, or it can hang at the back. It's really up to you. It doesn't really matter. And then I just turn. I need my yarn ball back. I turn and single crochet. Put the hook towards the back. Turn and single crochet. Yarn out, hook to the back, turn, and a single crochet. And that is all there is to it. Now this tool is called a hairpin lace crochet tool, or a crochet hairpin lace tool. You know, I think mine, this is a clover one. I think it was about $16. You know, it counts. It's got a stitch. No, it's on that side, yeah. It's got a stitch counts for you and an arrow for the middle. So, you know, you can just determine how wide you want your loops on either side. You know, so you can keep it standard. Like I say, if you want to use, it comes with 3 pins. Now, why is there a hole in the bottom? What some people do, and I'll just do this one stitch and I'll show you what some people do. And now, remember how I said, I'll just get my thing again. When it comes to removing, these, some people like to make sure that their loops are sort of, you know, secured in some sort of way. So what they actually do is, can I get a bit of scrappy yarn? Oh, I mean, I've got millions of bits of scrappy yarn around. Come on, let's have a look. Oh, dear. Here we go. Let's use this. So what they would do is they would thread that through there using a pin, probably. Let me get a pin. And then they'd thread that through there. And they would tie no, they wouldn't tie it, sorry. They'd just leave it like that. And when they remove the next stitches, they come down over this yarn. And it's just a way of just sort of threading yarn through that. Alternatively, some people will just, before they remove it from, I'll show you, before they decide to remove the excess loops, they might just decide to thread up between them like that before they remove them. And that's just one way that they can, you know, keep them twisted the way they want them twisted, if they want them twisted, or just to sort of keep them in a straight line. But I'm not doing that because I don't feel I need to. I'm showing you basically the easiest way of doing hairpin. It's not complicated. I'm not showing you intricate stitches or joins. There's lots of ways you can join one hairpin to another. I'll be showing you the easiest way of joining them together, and then a very simple, just probably single crochet all the way around with a slightly smaller hook to put a border on it, and then you'll have your hairpin lace scarf. And you know, as you can see, it really does go quite quickly once you sort of get into the rhythm, you know. And always make sure that when you do stop, you stop at the same point. When I stop, I always stop after I've done a single crochet, and that way I know where I'm at. I've got coffee all in my hand. More coffee. Okay, you following along with that? Like I said, this isn't the best yarn to probably be using, but it's a good yarn to be showing you with. You can do this with all sorts of different weights of yarn. You can, you know, really do it with a very fine mohair. That's going to be very, very... For mohair, I would get a scrap piece of yarn and put that through my loops, simply because they will be so difficult to pick up later because of the halo catching onto the other parts of the halo and knotting up and all the rest of it, and not wanting, you know, to separate and whatnot. So keep that in mind. It can be used with yeah, all sorts of weights, all sorts of colors and types. I think it probably, well, from what I've seen, it does tend to look best either in an ombre, which technically this isn't an ombre, but it changes colors at the same rate. I'm fortunate that the color changes and the number, I'm just hoping I don't get a knot. If you get a knot, yeah, you want the knot right on the center line so that you can thread the ends through the zigzag. But I'm just hoping I don't get a knot, because if I do get a knot, that means that the length will be different and it will vary from the other two lengths I've got with the color. You know, one of the colors will be shorter or longer depending on, you know, whether they've added more or less of the color. So yeah, that's why you might be better off with a solid color or a variegated that changes all the time. It's cooling down. Now, these didn't take me very long at all to do once I got into the rhythm. As you can see, it really is just a matter of finding a way that's comfortable and easy for you to switch around. I strongly suggest that you do have something to rest the base on, whether it be your body or a ball or a pillow or something. It just helps give it a bit of stability, whereas if you're working sort of up here in the air, you're moving all around. Yeah, that would be my top tip for today. Okay. So, and as you can see, it's starting to get quite... Ooh, that's woke it up a pussycat, and he says, I'm not liking that. One of them has already gone to hide. That would be the girl one. She's already gone to hide because she's really skittish. She's Poor little thing, she's always been skittish. But I'm waiting for this temperature to drop. It's only dropped a couple of degrees at the moment, in Celsius, so we'll see. Okay. Oh, and we're on to the next colour. Alright. I'll show you what I do with the next. Now, so I put my end on. Now here's some other lockable stitch markers. I turn it up the other way, remove this end, and I did an odd number the last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6, 8, 8, 10, 10. Right, and then I start back at 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, 8, 8, 10, 10. I put the end back on. Before I take the top off, what I do is I lay the yarn, I lay it down, and then I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. Then on the next 10, I'm going to put on a stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops, almost dropped it. And now it says 10 to 11. Okay, so somewhere along the line, I've made a mistake with my counting. So let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I must have just miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's done it again. Okay, what have I done? I think I'm counting 1 here twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why is that not coming out? Okay, we'll try it again. 1, I'll try it backwards. No, I'll try the other side first. I'll do the other side because I'm sure I counted the right number. Oh, hang on. Maybe that was on the wrong side. I'll do it this way. This is really weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now there's 2 there. Alright. I know that's 10, so I'm going to do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, That's better. Now let's see if I can work it back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, see, I think I put this one on the opposite, on the wrong side. So try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Now, what have I got left here? Please be 10. I know I counted 10 off, so it should be right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't need to pin it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, got it right. Okay, so as you can see, I've grouped it 10 together, 10 loose. And that's the only reason I've done it that way is because I'm running out of stitch markers. I was putting groups of 10 together with the stitch markers on both sides. If you've got enough stitch markers to do it that way, do it. If you run out of stitch markers and you still want to do it that way, use offcuts of yarn to tie them, and then you can later cut them, you know, 10 at a time when you're actually joining. You'll notice that this gets, you know, this is quite stretchy and springy. Okay, so now once we get that sorted, I can turn it around again. I grab my yarn, take the top off, take my stitch marker out, and I can continue. And it won't be always that difficult. It was just that starting loop. You've got sort of a funny starting loop that could have belonged to either side at the end there, and I got confused as to which side it belonged to. So, yep, and I just keep going. Like I say, with this, it's 2 repeats of the color, but you still want to count. I had 2 repeats of the off-white or whatever it's called through to black, and that was 190 loops on both sides, not one side, on one side. So on both sides, it's 190 on this side, 190 on this side. So when you're counting, you just go 10. You can count your stitch markers. You go 10, 20, and so on and so forth. When you've got 190, and you're at the end, I can show you, when I get there, I'll show you how to cast off. But casting off is really just a matter of, you do your single crochet, you pull through your loop, cut your yarn, and then you just pull through to tie it off. So it's no different to, you know, tying off any other sort of project. So if you've got a hairpin tool, whether you've made it or whatever yourself, or you've got a handyman who's made you one, or you managed to buy one, I will meet you back when I got to 190. I'll just show you how I cast off, and then I will take you through the steps of joining the lace. I will just join the first 2 and start adding the third, and then I will leave you with it, because it does vary slightly at the beginning when you're joining more than one piece. Okay, so I'll leave you there. Oh, lovely cool air coming in through my window. Thank you. Lovely, lovely. Please take care, everybody. It's the 27th of November actually today, but you probably won't be seeing this until the 2nd of December, so you would have had new Thanksgiving and everything by then. So I'm hoping that you have a great Thanksgiving, or had a great Thanksgiving, and everyone is well. Anyway, take care, people. I'll see you in the next section. Back in a bit. And here we are back at the very end. I've got 2 on this side, I've got 1 on this side. I need 1 more, which will make up my 190th on this side. I've already got 190 on this side, so I just need to turn around once. So now I've got 2 loops on this side to make 190, 2 loops on this side to make 190. Oops, I just go through that last loop, do a single crochet, and then I do a chain and cut the yarn, pull it through, pull it tight, and now I have another, a third lace piece done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this all ready and laid out, and I will show you how we join this to this and all the way up. Now the colors will obviously not match the color of the join. Well, actually it will match, sorry, because we're going to be just using the loops we've got. We're not including another thread. We're just literally putting 1 loop through the other loop and then going to the next loop and doing the same. Alright, so I'll just get that all organized, laid out properly and ready to go, and be back very shortly. Okay, here we are with the lace strips laid out. That's going to help you see if there's any twists or anything like that a lot easier. I'm going to, rather than put that loop through this loop, you can't see, put that loop through this loop, and then through that loop and through this loop, which is one of the ways that they suggest to join, and I was going to do because of the color changes. I decided no, I'm just going to pick up the yarn where it left off, and I'm just going to do a single crochet. So I'm going to pick up that one and pick up that one. I'm just going to do a single crochet. I'm going to go to the second one, single crochet. Third ones. Now they do advise, and I agree with them, when you are joining these pieces together, I'll just get rid of that scratchy stitch marker. They do suggest that you do it on a flat surface that you have like I've got here, and that is just so that you can see if there's any twists in your main piece here, because you don't want it ruined by having a twist, unless you put a twist in deliberately in order as a part of the pattern, which you could also, I guess, do. You know, every 10 or 20 single crochets or joining, you might decide to twist it and go to the other side and then twist it back after another 10. Who knows? But I'm just going to join these with a single crochet and show you how that looks. You could do a slip stitch. A slip stitch will give you a ridge of the color you're joining, will peek through. This has given me a ridge of this black. With a slip stitch, you're going to get the black on either side, but you're going to get also a next to the slip stitches, you're going to get this color poking up as well. So it just entirely depends on what you are looking for. It shouldn't take long just to do this. It's only going to be less than 400 single crochet or double crochet if you're in the UK. And then once I've done that, I do a border down this side, which I'll probably just do the same again, just single crochet in the top of each one, and then probably just some single crochets along the bottom edge here. Let me show you how that looks. So it looks a little bit messy until you sort of pull it, and then the stitches rectify and straighten out, and you can see the lace work. And when it lays flat, yep, you can see the lace work's working well. This one was my beginning loop, so that's a little bit longer. When I come to do single crochet along here, I might try and sort of just shorten it somehow, just so it doesn't look off. But yeah, that's how we're doing this. I'm still using the 6mm. I thought I might as well stick with that. You could use even a different yarn if you didn't want, you know, a bulky rib up the edge, up the side, up the middle, whatever. You could, you know, bring in an 8-ply or DK, weight 3. You could bring in even a 4-ply if you wanted. Yeah, entirely, you know, up to you and what you want. This is going to give us a lovely lacy scarf. It really doesn't take that long. Once you get into the ribbon with the hairpin tool, you know, hairpin lace tool, and you're turning, you're putting the hook to the back, you're turning, you do your single crochet, turn, single crochet. It just really goes quite fast. You could have this last minute, last day gift, you know, done in a very short while, you know, for that last minute person who suddenly says, oh yeah, I'll come for Christmas dinner, and you think, damn it, why? Anyway, so yeah, but we'll do that. And as you can see, I just stop every so often just to, I'm keeping these like straight, not twisted. I could join them twisted if I wanted to. You could let them have, like, that's got a twist. See how that's got a twist? I could go into that and it'll be twisted, and then pick up the next one, which is twisted, and go into that twisted, and then I'm going to get a different look, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's just straighten out stitches. You're going to get a slightly different look. See how that's twisted on either side? You could have all of these twisted, or you can have all of them straight. You might decide to alternate. Have one, you know, this not twisted, this twisted, then and the next set reverse it, have this not twisted and this twisted. You might decide to go straight, twisted, straight, twisted. Yeah, whatever sort of you prefer the look of. I couldn't find any sort of really hard and fast rules on what to do. This is really, really basic joining. Obviously, we're doing basic stuff here, but it's going to come out as a really lovely lacy scarf that people are going to look at and think, well, how did you do that? And that's, you know, that's always nice when people look at it and think, well, how's it done? You know, and you and I know. So, okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to join the other piece I have. I've got this. I'm going to join that to this, okay, all the way up as well with a ridge. Then I'll come back. When I come back, I will be doing the edge and the base, and I will just show you the base and a bit of the edge, and then leave the rest and do the rest off screen, and then come back and show you the finished project. So you might see me, because I'm making this on, oh, I've lost the date now, I think it was the 28th, 27th of November. So it's not even Thanksgiving, and I'm making these videos for December. But so you might see me sort of just making this in a vlog video over the next few days, just to sort of try and get it finished. And I've got a scarf, another scarf or table runner in mosaic, and I don't want you to panic. Mosaic is really, if you can do double crochets and single crochets, actually I think it's single crochets in the back loop and double crochets in the front loop, if you can do those and some chains, you're laughing. You're going to be able to do this other scarf. It won't take long at all to get done, or you can use it as a table runner at Christmas for a bit of fun. It's going to be a little bit of a fun project. Yeah, I'm not going to say any more than that, but I'm just waiting on some pencils and erasers, because can you believe I've got a house full of pencils and I have not got one eraser, and I'm going to need an eraser if I'm going to make this graph. I will have to make the graph and take shots, screenshots of it. I will put them up on the Facebook page that I have created, so that I can share patterns and whatnot. Yeah, you know, you could almost have this like double thickness. If I decided just to join these two to each other, you could almost make it a double thickness thing. But we're not doing that, but it is something that just occurred to me. So yeah, the next Christmas decoration slash scarf, whatever, is going to be something I'm going to work on as soon as I've gotten an eraser. We call them rubbers here in Australia, and yeah, I know what rubbers in the US are called, but we call them rubbers here because they rub things out. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, it's not looking so bad. It's looking pretty good. All right, I'll break here. I'll come back when I've joined this one as well to this side, and then I'll show you how we are going to do our edges. And yeah, we're almost done. It's taken a while, but we're getting there. All right, back in a few seconds for you. Could be however many days for me. Depends on whether or not I sleep. But anyway, back in a second.
Hi, my name is Strawny. Did you leave a comment so we can have a little chat? That would be very nice. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay, here I am at the corner of the hairpin lace scarf. As you can see, I have done a single crochet in every loop all the way down the side, and I've already completed the bottom. Cat hair everywhere. Well, almost completed the bottom. I've got that bit to do. So I'm going to show you how I've done the end, and you just repeat this at the other end after going down the other side. So I've got one more, so that's just another single. In the corner one here, I did 5 single crochets. Oh, hang on, sorry, that's just another, there's another loop there I didn't see. All right, so this one has 5 single crochets. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I go straight over to the next section, and what I've done is I'm gonna crochet over 2 strands plus the end, and I'm gonna crochet 5 single crochet. Okay, and I am again at the another divide sort of thing. I'm going to leave that strand. I'm going to thread that into here, and I'm just going to go straight on to this side, and I'm going to do 5 single crochet in here. Okay, ooh. I've got another strand which I will work over as I do 5 more single crochet in this section. So there's 2 strands of the loop and the tail end of the middle of the lace, hairpin lace section. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll just come back and I'll cut the tail ends off when I'm done. Okay. once again, I'm going to leave this strand to weave in to those ends. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't want this color sort of necessarily showing through on the ends, especially the black. So 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whoops. And now I am at the last corner one. This is the start of my coming down the side. I'm just going to do 5 in there. Looks like I've got 2 ends to work over in here. So I'm going to work over those 2 ends and do 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then I'm just going to go straight to the next one and a single crochet. And I'm going to single crochet all the way up this side, and I'm going to join. Where are we? I'm going to join it here with the start. So I'm going to do, where's that end loop? So I'll do 5 in here. I'll do 5 over here. Oops, over both parts of the loop, plus the thread, the end. And then when I get there, I'm just going to slip stitch into that stitch and tie off. So I will be back when I have finished all that and sewn in all my ends to show you the finished project. And here is the finished project. As you can see, it's very lacy. It's quite lightweight, though I think it would offer a fair bit of warmth being in acrylic as this one is. It's quite a good length too, and it really didn't take that long to make it up. So another last day present perhaps for Christmas. Okay, thanks for watching everybody. Please like and subscribe. Take care and bye for now.